So I'm gonna probably be doing a lot of videos where I'm out here in the woods hiking during the winter time. It's January 26th-ish. Don't quote me. It's a Sunday, I know that. And I want to talk about work and what I do real quick and get into some other details. And also, none of this is scripted. Everything I'm saying is off the dome, so if I pause a lot and say a lot, which I don't fucking like doing, but it's just a natural reaction when you're pausing, I guess. Anyway, let's get into it. So, got some shit on my mind. Here we go. So I do pest control, and it's been very good to me. And I like to think that that's because of the experience that I have, which is upwards of 20 years doing this shit. And been on my own, running my own thing for the last 4, I think. So when clients hire me, you know, a lot of them do so not only because I'm local, but also because I know what I'm doing. I'm not a rookie. A lot of times when you hire these bigger companies who I've worked for, their turnover rate's high for various reasons, and I could do a whole separate video on why I left Terminex. But I'd probably get a cease and desist letter in the mail if I did go into detail. Anyway, they're just all about their bottom dollar, and they could give a shit about their employees. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway, so, you know, when I show up at the door, I know what I'm doing. I know how to talk to clients. I know how to do my job. I know exactly where to go, where to look, how to find things, where they're having issues with, you know, mice or termites or, you know, what have you. I can almost go directly to the problem area, get it knocked out, and then, you know, move on. And that's what people like. They don't want some brand new dude showing up, you know, at their door, and they're paying, you know, $150, $200 for a general pest control service, and the dude spraying with a indoor light duty pump sprayer around the outside foundation, which isn't going to do a goddamn thing. Trust me, I know, I've been there. Anyway, so there is a downside though to having the experience that I have and kind of having the confidence and all that, is I have to deal with, I guess I don't have to, you know, perks of running your own business is, if there's a job you don't want to do, you just say you don't want to do it, and that's the end of the story. You're not subject to a boss telling you, well, hey, we don't have a choice, we need to go get this bread, so you got to go into this house that is overwhelming with ammonia smell. And trust me, I've been in these homes, dude. People have 20 cats and they let them do their business all over the house, and you walk in there and it'll take your breath away. I had one client in St. Joe, shit you not, I argued with my boss on the phone for about 10 minutes, letting him know I'm not doing this. I'm not going in there. It's a health hazard. Long story short, I ended up doing the job and wore my respirator in their house the whole time I was there. And I think they were a little offended, but you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. I don't know how people survive in those situations. But back to my point is, you get to a point where you have to either pass on a job, or you have to have tough conversations with clients due to their inability to keep a clean home, on top of many, many other things, but that's going to be the main one. The main one is trying to help a client out with roaches, let's say. That's the biggest one. And I would say about 7 out of 10 times when I do a German roach job, it's due to poor housekeeping. And when I say poor housekeeping, I mean food everywhere, clutter. A lot of times these clients, they're disabled. They can't really help themselves. And some of them, are disabled for reasons that are out of control, but most of them are disabled due to lifestyle choices. And so there is a limit to my sympathy for people who choose to not go outside, stay inside, smoke cigarettes, and eat fucking Domino's pizza every goddamn night of the week. I know sometimes it's generational. You're probably gonna do what is comfortable to you. You're gonna follow in your parents' footsteps, so to speak. And I understand how that works. But you gotta take responsibility for yourself as an adult, man. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you're a rookie and you don't really know, how the pest industry works and how these people get these issues and so forth, then it's kind of easier to go into a home and just do what you can, even though you're probably going to have to go back there several times. Hopefully you're getting paid to do that. I know when I was doing, work for another company, we had callbacks, and a lot of those weren't paid for. A lot of those were just, hey, you didn't do your job right the first time, so you need to go back and it's on you. When in fact, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. A lot of these companies don't even give you the proper literature to pass on to your customers to let them know what their responsibilities are as a customer in order to help us help them. So with someone like me who knows all of the things, I'm burdened with those conversations. I'm burdened with having to let clients know, hey, you got to do this, otherwise what I'm doing for you isn't going to work, and you're still going to have to pay me for my time. Another thing that really sucks is, a lot of my business is for property management companies, which is awesome. I love them. I'm not going to stop doing work for them because of their tenants that they have to oversee. But, some of these people will get evicted eventually if it comes. If the issue goes on long enough, let's say you got a client who's infested with bed bugs. Again, a lot of times it's because they can't clean. They're not able to take care of the home like a younger person. Sometimes those people get evicted because of that. Where are they supposed to go? Like, that's a big issue, and that is something that weighs on my mind. I never want to say, well, I can't get the problem under control for you. Sorry, this person doesn't clean their home and the treatment's not going to work. And they're like, well, that sucks. We're going to have to kick them out because we can't keep having the issue because it's going to spread to other units. These are multi-housing units, apartment buildings, townhomes, that sort of thing. And I'm part of that process and I don't fucking want to be. But that's kind of where I was going with this, and that's kind of the whole point. And I hope what I'm saying makes sense. I think it does. But I'm curious to know what other people think about the stuff that I am ranting about, because it's just cool to connect with like-minded people and see where my head's at compared to where your head's at. Even if you're not in this industry, maybe you're a tenant, maybe you're someone who rents, who has an issue at home, maybe you're someone who had a family member had to move in with you because they got evicted, and now you have bed bugs or roaches in your home. It's crazy the things that happen, and this is daily. So tell me about it. I'm curious.